Hello, my name is Jacob Jun, or also known as G Jun. I've been teaching for about 9 years now, 5 of which in the Salinas Union High School District. Originally, I was from Korea, South Korea. Immigrated here when I was 2, but I've been in Salinas for most of my life, except for college. I also went back to Korea for a couple of years, and that's where I started teaching English. Worked in a curriculum department for a year, and then after I came back, I worked in photography, and that's the long journey towards becoming a teacher because I was a media instructor at LSL for ROP, and then they saw that I had computer science in my background, and they added computer science coursework into my classes. I think what got me into my current subject, I transitioned from media into computer science, and the reasoning for that is because computer science is really important. I think in the future everything is going to be computer science. When we're talking about math, when we're talking about science, even when we're talking about language. We have so many different things going on and so many different ways that we can work with students and bring together the math and the languages and even the art and design, the science principles, all of those things we can apply to computer science. I really like teaching computer science because there's so many opportunities. We're only an hour away from San Jose, so we have this huge industry in our backyard, and we can send these kids over there, and we need these diverse voices. Working with kids from Salinas, working in a Title I school where we have kids who don't have a lot of representation, and it's hard to find heroes for them, and so I try to encourage them because they can be the next heroes. They can be the people who come back to this community and to show their faces and say, hey, look, I can do it, you guys can too. So Amazon Future Engineer, AFE, is a great program. So what I like about being in the Amazon Future Engineer program is that we're working on accessibility. We're working on getting computer science in front of more students. And I tell them that Amazon invests heavily in these curriculum and programs and initiatives because they want better employees. They want people who are going to come in and disrupt. They want students to come in and not just follow a standard procedure of how to build computer science, but to actually build the future and make it more livable. We are an AWS Academy, so we can actually provide students with actual AWS certificates now. And these are things that I wish I had in high school because I wasn't really looking forward to college. I wanted to get into work right away. And we can provide that for our students. Not that we're discouraging them for college, we obviously do want them to go to college, but for those students who are ready to go, we want to give them more options and help them out because CS is, for artists, it's for mathematicians, it's for writers, it's for everyone right now. So 2020 was a weird year because that was the pandemic year. A lot of teachers were struggling that year because we went into distance learning in March. And it was discouraging. It was really hard to do because the distractions, also seeing the inequities. So how do you go to school if you can't log online? Project STEM, they encouraged me to go for the award, to go for the Teacher of the Year award, and I said, I don't know, I don't see myself as a Teacher of the Year because I didn't even see myself even continuing to teach because I just felt like it was so hard, and I felt looking at how I was doing, I just felt that I was failing my kids. And so we were virtual, and we had this virtual meeting, and I noticed that there was a guest with us that day, and he didn't speak at all until 30 minutes in when he introduced himself and they announced that I had won a Teacher of the Year award. It was a moment that I can remember because it helped me realize that even though I had probably the hardest year of teaching ever, and I felt so discouraged, not because of my kids, but because of the circumstances and how the world was. It kind of gave me a reason to keep going in teaching. It kind of said to me, we see your efforts.
I'm Leslie Castellon. I'm a senior. Last year I took Intro to Computer Science, and this year I'm taking AP Computer Principles.
My name is Jordan Magana. I am enrolled in AP Computer Science right now, but I have also completed Intro to Computer Science.
I was never really close to a teacher until Jacob, I would say. He opened up a door for computer science. I was always intrigued in it, and he always tried to find a way to make everything personal with you.
I think my favorite thing that I've learned in class was learning how to code last year with him. I want to thank Jacob too for also introducing me to computer science more and really getting me into it because I really love it, and that's what I want to pursue in college. And he helped me apply to my colleges and what majors are correct and thinks he will suit the best for me because I believe that they'll help me.
My name is Nayeli Jimenez. I'm a senior and I'm taking AP Computer Science Principles.
My name is Caleb. I'm a senior and I'm taking cybersecurity. I took AP Principles last year.
Jacob engages us not only academically, but personally and in a lot of different ways. I think the first time I ever noticed that was when at the start of the year, we would write we would read all these articles and then write like a reflection about them, like about real world things like quantum, like computers and the dangers of AI. So he has us like thinking about how we're gonna do all this computer science stuff in real life and how it's gonna apply to us when we're in college and in our career.
Yeah, so my connection with Jacob has been really strong. I've been with him through 3 years. Started with esports, which was not a class, but that's where I grew my connection with him. And that grew into me taking the class AP Principles, which was the first year. And for me, that's what like inspired me to keep on going with the cybersecurity. The cybersecurity.
He always wants us to pursue something outside of school. He was always like, oh, like the scholarship is due soon, or this internship sounds like good, you know what I mean? So he's always wanting us to do stuff after school and like make sure we're prepared and ready.
My name is Stephen Patel. I'm currently a senior and I'm enrolled in AP Computer Science Principles.
My name is Maximus Perez. I'm a senior and I'm also enrolled in AP Computer Science Principles.
Now, he's definitely always there to help, and like anytime I ask something, he's a really knowledgeable person. He knows a lot. He's done a lot in his life, so I can always ask him about random things, and he'll always give me a straight answer. And he's also a super fun teacher to be around. I don't think anyone in this class doesn't like him. And everyone's like, oh, he's always fun to hang out with. He laughs with us. Favorite thing I learned in this class, probably how to play Magic, probably, because we were learning about iteration and different types of code. But it was really fun to learn and play that game and get interactive with us and our classmates and Jacob as well. And it was really cool to learn that and how we could apply that to coding.
Interesting thing, I think it wouldn't be exactly about the material, but it would be more about Jacob and how he came, like how he was dropped out of high school, dropped out of college, and then he did all this, and he came to college and he got his master's in, I think it was computer science, and how he came from not knowing anything to being this knowledgeable guy that I can look up to and ask him anything. I don't have a lot of mentors. Like I would say the only mentors would be like my dad and my grandma, and I feel like I could say Jacob would be one of my mentors.
And we're not just saying this because like that's what we believe. He has accolades that prove it. Like for example, he's been an Amazon Teacher of the Year. That's pretty big, and he wrote a lot of letters of request for many of us, which helped us get into colleges.
So it's interesting listening to my students tell me or talk about me in terms of relationships, and so I've been working on that a lot in terms of building a professional relationship with the students in terms of how I assess them, how I approach them, how I get them to learn. When a student knows more about me, if I'm transparent, if I tell them I dropped out of high school, I dropped out of college, which I did, it shows them that failure is not the end. That failure sometimes is just the beginning of something new. The last thing I wanted to add is I wanted to thank all the administrators, teachers, staff members, even all the paras, all the people who have helped me, because I have not been able to do this alone. Teaching is a difficult job, but we have a lot of help. But it's the most meaningful thing I've ever done, and I say that all the time.